Alright, so today we're going to do right triangle trig day 2. Alright, we're going to be talking about further trig functions, secant, cosecant, cotangent. We're going to deal with ratios and inverses right now. So secant is defined as hypotenuse. So now the hypotenuse is going to be the numerator over adjacent, which should look familiar because adjacent over hypotenuse is cosine. So basically, secant equals 1 over cosine, or the flip of it. All right, cosecant is hypotenuse over opposite, making it an inverse of sine. All right, so cosecant, CSC, is 1 over sine. And then cotangent is just the inverse of tangent. Tangent, remember, was opposite over adjacent. So now we got adjacent over opposite. And then it is the inverse of tan. What a surprise there. Cotangent equals 1 over tan. Now, when we talk about inverses, it's basically to help you, okay? It's basically to help you do things quicker. All right, so the sine of C. So there's C. Some of us yesterday were talking about how to find the opposite and the hypotenuse. So sine C would be 12 over 13. All right, not bad there. All right, now cosecant and sine are inverses of each other. So basically, if you flip your fraction, flip 13 over 12, you got your answer. Now, just like sine is less than 1 always, cosecant is going to be greater than 1. All right, and then the cotangent of A is adjacent over hypotenuse, 12 over 5. All right, one of those, either cotangent or tangent, is always going to be greater than 1 or equal to 1, and then one of them is going to be less than 1, or they're both equal to 1. The sine of P, assuming Q is a right angle, the sine of P is 15 over 17. Nothing big there. Okay, the cosine of R, adjacent is 15, and as we discussed yesterday, perhaps in class, the sine of one non-right angle in a right triangle is the same as the cosine of the other. And since secant and cosine are inverses of each other, all right, all we got to do is flip the fraction. All right. We got a couple more to work on to practice. Cosine of F. Cosine, we got a missing. Well, we're either going to use triples or Pythagorean theorem. All right, and either way, we get 24. So the cosine F is now 24 over 25. The tangent of F is 7 over 24. The sine of D is the same as the cosine of F, 24 over 25, and the cosecant is the inverse of that. So it's 25 over 24. Again, you want to do it that way to save you time, especially when you prepare for quizzes coming up. All right, 6, 8. Now my missing side is the hypotenuse, which would be 10. So the sine of T, opposite is 6, over the hypotenuse is 10. Make sure to reduce. All right. R and T are the same, are different angles in a right triangle, so the cosine of R is also going to be 3 over 5. The tangent of R, opposite over adjacent, is 8 over 6, which is 4/3. Cotangent of T, all right, it's not the flip of it. Cotangent of T would be 8 over 6, which is 4/3. So it kind of works for cotangent and tangent too. The tangent of one is equivalent to cotangent of the other. Now, the sine of K equals 5 over 7. Find the remaining trig functions of angle K. So we're going to make K there. Sine is 5, which makes that 7. All right, to get our missing side, we're going to use Pythagorean theorem. 7 squared is 49, 5 squared is 25. That's square root of 49 minus 25 using Pythagorean theorem. That comes out to 2 root 6, and it's 24. All right, so the sine is 5 over 7. Myself, I would go right to cosecant, which is 7 over 5. All right, so now we go to cosine. The cosine of K is adjacent over hypotenuse, 2 root 6 over 7. I would then go right to secant because that's the inverse of that. That puts us 7 over 2 root 6. I multiply top and bottom by the root 6. I I got 7 root 6 over 12, and I'm good to go. All right. Now I'm going to look at tangent. The tangent is opposite over, so I got 5 over 2 root 6. Top and bottom by root 6. And now I got 5 root 6 over 12. All right, and now cotangent is the inverse of that, and this is important. You got 2 things to choose from to do the inverse. The pre-rationalized and the post-rationalized. I would do the pre, because watch what happens. If I flip that, cotangent is 2 root 6 over 5, and I don't have to worry about rationalizing. All right, and that covers it. So that'll be today's lesson on secant, cosecant, and cotangent, and finding the remaining 5 trig functions. You'll have an assignment based upon that. Next up, we'll do word problems. Be good, everybody.